Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sebastian, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have a very, very fun show in store for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. This is a topic that I know our core audience members are going to enjoy, right? As you guys know, I've been saying this for quite some time. This is the cupcake era. This is the cupcake era. But for whatever reason, it seems to be promoted by some people in media as, oh, this is the greatest era we have ever seen. These are the most advanced NBA players ever, although they can't even play a full 82-game season. They can't do it. The most advanced crop of players ever cannot even play the full calendar year. Oh, they're the fastest we've ever seen. Do you have any proof of this? No, I don't. They just look faster to me on TV. They're more athletic than they've ever been. Are they jumping any higher? We jumping higher than before? Do we have any measurements? No. But it feels good to say it. Just a bunch of that. I challenge anyone. There are people. Look, there are people that feel intelligent when they say this is the most advanced era we've ever seen. It feels good to say it. Like, oh man, that felt good. Let me say it one more time. This is the most advanced NBA players have ever been. That felt good. And people like me are forever going to push back and say, you need to quantify your claims, substantiate them. The best how? Are they faster? Well, if you say yes, you need to prove this. Because to me, it seems like players have been fast pretty much for as long as they've been playing. I can give you players over a 25-year window that were fast in every generation. Some of you are like, okay, give me some examples. Number one, Allen Iverson. The dude was a blur on the court. He was fast. Do you know who else was fast as well? Derrick Rose. Was Derrick Rose playing in the NBA when Allen Iverson was there? No. Do you know who else was fast? John Wall. John Wall was another lightning bolt on the basketball court, and you can go on and on and on. What about athleticism? We can give you guys literally 50 years of examples of athletic NBA players. Literally. We can go all the way back to freak athletes like Wilt Chamberlain, Dr. J. Then, of course, you have the Michael Jordans, the Shawn Kemps. These are just names that are popping up in my head right now. Then you move into the modern era. You have the Kobe Bryants, the Vince Carters, the LeBron James. Then you have the Russell Westbrooks, the Derrick Roses, the Blake Griffins. You have the John Morant. Like, help me figure it out. Who's more athletic than who here? But nevertheless, it feels good. And what they try to do is distill the word better down to, or advanced down to, dribbling and shooting. As if that is all basketball is. Shooting threes and getting and crossing over and getting layups. That's what they try to distill it down to. But for those of us who can process issues and think critically, we're always going to push back on this. And it seems like we're not the only ones pushing back. What am I referring to? I came across a clip from the show that used to be The Old Man and the Three. Now I think is The Young Man and the Three. I can't remember the name properly. But anyway, it was a podcast that JJ Redick used to be a member of. And I came across this clip of Tyrese Halliburton sitting down with who? Former President Barack Obama. Now, if you know anything about Barack Obama beyond the fact that he was a president, you also know that he enjoyed playing basketball. There's even footage of him shooting and all of that, right? So I click on this clip here to see what they were talking about. And essentially what they were discussing was the state of affairs with the NBA. And Barack Obama was absolutely destroying the cupcake era in the face of an actual cupcake member. So for those of you who didn't hear what President Obama had to say, want to play what he had to say for you now about the cupcake era, and then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to him here.
But generally in our pickup games, people didn't take it easy on me because I would talk about them after I beat them, and then they'd get mad. And I've got proof because in one of the games, pickup games, not this All-Star game, but I got a bow in my lip, and it split it open. I had to have 12 stitches. And I had to speak the next day. So you can see in this is, I think, Thanksgiving weekend. You can see as I'm talking, I got a little caterpillar right on my lip. It's just the stitches were in there. So and the photographer caught a sequence of me getting bowed. I'm on the floor. There's blood all over everybody's standing over me looking. And I had it printed out and I sent it to the guy who was just some staffer on Capitol Hill. I had it framed and I signed it to him, to the only guy who ever got away with assaulting the president.
Is this public knowledge? Like you can find it?
Well, I'm sure he's told that story because I'm sure he's got that thing up.
That's just fun fact.
Yeah.
Every time
How hard would you play in these games?
Well, I just read the room. It's like the All-Star game. You read the room. It's a precedent that's set.
Can I say something, though? Y'all got to have a little more pride in that All-Star game. I mean, look, it's not as if y'all don't play pickup during the summers.
Right.
So you know how to play in a way that, all right, I'm not going to hurt anybody. I'm not going to take anybody out. But that All-Star game's it's broke, man.
Well, I mean,
like people just like not running. Everybody just trying all kinds of.
Well, I'm not.
It used to be when Kobe and Michael and Isaiah, those guys were playing, man. I mean, they weren't playing the way they did regular season, but they wanted to win.
This sounds like a conversation with my pops right now. He gave me the same speech.
It insults the game.
Well, all I said is my first All-Star game, I came off the bench. So I'm just reading the room of what's going on, and I'm just going to adjust to whatever.
No, I agree, but everybody needs to be just like, all right.
We got to lock in better.
Lock in better.
Well, we had
because you're showing out. This is this is your business. This is your product. You don't want people thinking y'all out there just half-assed.
That's a good point. We had a full meeting before last year's All-Star game.
And it didn't work.
It didn't work. Who came in? I'm so mad at myself. Larry Bird came in there and gave us a speech about taking it more serious.
Take it more seriously.
Could they change the stakes, though, in a real way? To do something to make it where it's like...
I mean, the problem is y'all get paid so much now. Although the in-season tournament turned out better than I expected.
Yeah.
Right? Where people, the incentive there, but partly because the game counted towards the season. Mm-hmm. But y'all need to do something. Because
we got to figure it out.
Because I ain't watching that thing no more.
So you heard what Obama had to say. I want to just take a minute to go back to the initial story. There's a reason why we decided to add that in the audio for you guys. He was talking about a game that he was playing where he got injured and there was blood all over the floor and by one of his staff members, and he made the joke about, oh, yeah, took a picture of it and autographed it, blah, blah, blah. The reason Obama told that story was he was talking about what happens when you give effort. Whenever you give effort and you exert yourself, there may be some room for friction. Friction may occur. It's one of the reasons why you saw the All-Star game when who got his nose broken by who? Dwayne Wade broke Kobe Bryant's nose. We all remember that, right? And he had the mask on his face and all of that. Obama was trying to draw a parallel between him playing a pickup game and the soft-ass cupcake era. That's what he was trying to prove. Then he took it a step further and said, son, the game is whack right now. Y'all don't even care. And you know the part that annoyed me the most listening to that, watching it, was when Tyrese Halliburton said, man, this sounds like my dad talking to me right now. This sounds like my dad. It's like, yo, son, it ain't got nothing to do with it being old or your pops is an old head. Anybody that watches these All-Star games can tell you for free that is trash. It is so bad, and they alluded to it in the soundbite, that they had to go recruit one of the old heads. Think about it. The era that the young boys make fun of, they had to go recruit one of them to try to motivate these guys. Imagine, motivate them to actually put forth some effort in an All-Star game. That's how bad it worked, and it didn't even work. Then Obama says something that I've been saying for quite some time. He said, this is your product. Have I not been saying this for the longest time? This is your business. So wouldn't you always want to make sure it's being promoted in its best form? No, that would make common sense, right? That'll be common sense, right? But it's the total opposite. They go out there in an All-Star weekend and put together one of the most disgusting products to watch throughout the weekend, and then want to walk up to you and say, man, this is the greatest era ever. Really? What about those ratings? What did the ratings say? It got so bad that they had to say that the all-star ratings were up last year. They were up from a low, which was still a low. It's like you got a 45 on your former math test, but this year you got a 55, and you're like, man, well, I did better. It's like, yeah, you did better, but you still failed. You did better, but you still failed. So to see President Obama point that out, what's important is that, number one, first of all, he's a former president, so he has the confidence to say it, and he knows Adam Silver is going to hear it, and he doesn't care because he's a former president. But he's also giving an opinion that a lot of people hold who like basketball. Do you notice the names he also mentioned? Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Why didn't he mention LeBron James? And I thought about it at the end, and I'm going to point this out. LeBron is from the old school. So how is LeBron letting these young dudes run around and like why isn't LeBron correcting any of this? Like, he's supposed to be the leader of the NBA. Why aren't you correcting these dudes? Like, how would you have an all-star game with dudes just lollygagging all over the place? I'm trying to think if it was Kobe Bryant and LeBron's shoe. You think these suckers would be running around doing what they do if Kobe was there? Hell no. Kobe would have pulled up a huddle and said, everybody get together, because he used to do it. He would have pulled up like, yo. Like, we got to stop the nonsense. We got to actually go out here and play. And they would have listened to Kobe. But LeBron is there as the elder statesman. He should be out there telling them to do it. Why he ain't doing it? I don't know. Shout out to Obama for keeping it 100 on this NBA issue, regardless of your politics. If you're an NBA fan, you most likely agree with every word that Obama said. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section, and we'll catch you guys on the next show. Peace.